Wednesday. All right, big old Wednesday, guys, fired up. It's Joe Rosen and Miss Lissette Hurtado, and we're excited today to talk about something that some people are super excited to do, and other people are like, stay away from me, man. So I want to talk about some of the pros and the cons, and I will admit, I'm a salesman, I'm a realtor. I want you to have it, but there are reasons you might not do it, right? So let's get into it. Lissette, why would I want to or not want to get pre-approved with a mortgage lender before I go out and start looking at houses?
I don't see any reason not to. For me, this is my biggest issue. I bring up with my buyers right from the get-go. Let me see the pre-approval. Are you pre-approved? If not, let's get it done ASAP. I mean, not only does it make you a stronger buyer, but it makes me a stronger agent. I understand what I'm working with. I understand what loan you're approved for, how much financing, the purchase price. That's basically everything that is going to encompass the type of property we're looking for and what I have to work with as funds when it comes to closing. Do you need seller concessions? I mean, I could just go on and on and on why it's so important to get pre-approved up front.
Those are great points because honestly, as a listing agent, I've seen other agents bring me offers and I'll start poking holes and asking questions and calling the lender. And pretty soon I'll find out they need $18,000 to close with that specific mortgage, but they've only got 15 in the bank. Well, that's a problem because those questions weren't asked and maybe they weren't pre-approved. And there's different levels of pre-approved too, right? You can get a pre-approval letter that says, I've checked the income, the debt, the employment status, the everything, right? Their mother's maiden name, all of it. I know it all. And I feel really comfortable with that as a listing agent. Then you'll get another pre-approval letter that says, these guys are good to go for $1 million, contingent upon me looking at everything, which means I haven't done a doggone thing. I haven't looked at anything. So really reading those letters and knowing the difference between them. And then also I always like to reach out. If you're in the top 1 or 2 and I'm considering you, I want to reach out and ask that lender, what have you looked at? What are you seeing?
Yeah.
And if they're telling, well, I looked at this and I'm saying, really, it's not necessarily the content even, although that's important too, but it's more the feel that I get from the lender knowing that they've done their due diligence and they've looked at this person deeply, right? That's important. But I do want to go back to something you said. You said, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't do it. I do want to come from the perspective of the buyer, and I want to think, why aren't they doing it, right? And there's really 2 reasons I can think of that you wouldn't want to do it. The first and foremost is it just takes time. It takes time and it takes effort, right? I just don't want to do it. I'm excited about looking at houses. I don't want to do the not exciting part, which is talk to a lender and get pre-approved. So let's just go look at houses. But in any market, but really more so in this market than any other market, homes are moving in 24 to 48 hours. And honestly, that's a house that takes a while to sell. A lot of these houses, by the time you call them, it's been on 4 hours, man. We already got 3 offers. What are you doing? You're behind the 8 ball. So if you are going out and looking at homes and you're not pre-approved, I might find you the house of your dreams, and now you can't even make an offer. And by the time it takes you to get a lender, get in touch with them, coordinate schedules, have the conversation, get all the paperwork you need into them checking your employment status and your credit and everything else, the home's pending. It's sold. So you've just lost out on a great opportunity because you didn't want to invest maybe 30 to 60 minutes to get all that stuff done, right? So does it take a little bit of time? Is it a pain in the butt? Yeah, but you got to do it anyway. Why not get it done up front, right? And number 2, Lissette, it's going to hurt my credit. What would you say to that issue? Because I hear it all the time. Hey, I don't want to take the ding on my credit, so I'm not going to do it.
Well, no, it won't. As a credit and a credit bureau, they see that you're searching for a property, that you're shopping around for a mortgage, and you're getting approved. Now, if you think you have a 400 credit score, you don't have any cash in the bank, and you don't have 2 years of income, don't even try. You know there are things you need to work with, and there's lenders that will do a soft pull your credit and take a look at it and say, okay, these are the things that need to work on in order for us to approval, but you're not getting it denied from the lender. So again, I really don't think that would be a reason not to get a pre-approval.
You said soft pull. What's the difference between a soft pull and a hard pull?
A soft one, they're just pulling your credit to look at the information on it. It's not used actual for the approval. They're not giving you approval or a denial.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, guys, I'll tell you too, and Lissette had touched on this. When I'm constructing a purchase agreement for you and we're presenting that offer to the listing agent, I need to know, are you going to be FHA? Are you doing a conventional loan? Are you going to do a VA loan? And you might think you want a specific type of loan, But when we start talking about the whys and how are you going to do this and what about the numbers, you might say, I didn't realize that. No, I want to do this type of loan instead. And you won't know that until you start digging in and getting that pre-approval with that lender, right? Because that's where those hard questions are going to be asked. Also, depending upon which type of loan you have, it's going to change the amount of cash you need out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless you got $1 million sitting in the bank, for most people, the amount of cash they got to come out of pocket with is an important part of that whole transaction. If you don't know the type of loan you have, you don't know how much you're going to need out of pocket. And that is incredibly important. So I think that's important as well. Now, if you've got someone that you love, you got a Lissette, you got a Joe, you got some realtor who you trust, you love, and they've got someone they recommend, awesome. In my opinion, that's the best lender to work with, because I'm telling you right now, I'm working with my lender because I love her, because she gets the job done. She makes my clients happy, and she just makes me look good. Of course, I'm going to use her. She rocks it. But if you are going to a location where you don't have a lender, you don't know the lender from Adam, and you're picking somebody based on Google listing reviews or Facebook reviews or whatever it is, you might also need to go out and search out a lender. I'm telling you, in that situation, find 2, find 3, and pit them against each other. Hey, I'm talking to Bob, I'm talking to Sandy, I'm talking to Jenny. I just want to let you guys know, because I need to see who's going to come to bat for me, who's going to give me the best options. Some of these guys have what's called overlays, right? And an overlay is just an added restriction that that company puts on that lender. The lender has no choice. If they work for that company, I can only take loans or I can only take buyers who have a 620 credit score higher. But if you go work with another lender and they have no overlays, they might be able to do it at a 500 credit score, right? Or a 580 credit score. They might be able to take, and I get this one all the time, Lissette, this is the challenging one. How many small business owners do you know who make great income? They've got a wonderful business, but they're 1099 and they're claiming loads of deductions as an intelligent business person would. But because of that, their net income is nothing, right? Because they're smart. They're doing it the right way. But that is a challenge when it comes to getting a loan. Well, some lenders can do less than 2 years of 1099 income. Some can't. So being able to talk to a couple different ones and understanding the differences between them is huge. And if you've got a realtor who knows the difference between them, man, that can be a big thing too. So let's just give maybe 1 or 2 pieces of advice that you would have for people when searching for a lender and trying to find the right lender for them.
I think the biggest factor that I looked in a lender is someone that's going to be responsive, someone that's going to communicate with you. You don't want to be after this person for days on end to get your pre-approval when, especially in this market, the properties are limited and we have multiple offers and we need to make quick moves. And someone that's informed, that knows your situation, is willing to look at the whole picture and work with you and see what's the best option. Sometimes saying no is the best option. Sometimes telling you, hey, give it a few months, give it 6 more months, you may need a year, but they're working in your best interest and aren't going to put you in a situation where financially is not in your best interest.
Yeah, and I'll support exactly what you're saying with a buyer I'm working with today. I was just texting them before I got on with you, and they were initially approved for $250,000. Now, a year or 2 ago, that was an average priced home in Port St. Lucie. You had a lot of options. Right now, I looked up 3 bedrooms or more, Port St. Lucie, 250 or less, and there were like 3 options. That was it. And they're FHA buyers, so that really kind of hindered their options as well. And there were like 3 options that can't be real. And one of them was on Port St. Lucie Boulevard, which is a bigger street. They didn't want that. The other one had a big HOA fee, was $600 some a month. They didn't want that. So we really had one option. I was able to find another property that was $260, and it checked all their boxes. And before I told the client, I called the lender, and the lender immediately picked up and immediately said, with some properties, I can't do $260 because if you've got higher taxes or the insurance is going to be higher because the roof is older, or maybe it doesn't have impact windows or whatever, they're going to be over the monthly payment that's allowed. But with this particular home, because of the insurance costs, because there's no HOA fee, because the taxes are a little bit lower in this area, I can definitely do $260. If she wouldn't have picked up, I wouldn't have been able to offer that option. So responsiveness is absolutely key. And you might, as a buyer, if your lender and your realtor are doing a phenomenal job, you'll never even know that that was important, hopefully, right? But man, if they are not responsive, you're going to feel the pain. So I think that's a great point. Lissette, I appreciate it. As always, you've delivered nothing but incredible value. Thank you so much. And guys, I appreciate you listening on in. If you guys have any great topics that you would like Lissette and I to touch on, feel free to DM either one of us, and we'd be more than happy to bring that up. We're here every single Wednesday live from 10:30 till whenever I get done talking. So I appreciate it. You guys have a rocking day. Thanks again, Lissette.
Have a great one, guys.